Hey everyone! Are you tired of studying for hours, but struggling to remember what you've learned? It can be super frustrating when you feel like you're not making progress, right? Well, you're in the right place today. In this video, we're sharing 5 proven tips to learn faster and more effectively. These tips will help you save time and get the most out of every study session. Whether you're prepping for exams, working on a project, or just trying to master a new skill. So, let's dive right in. Tip 1. Use memorization techniques. Tip number 1 is all about memorization techniques. If you're like most students, trying to absorb large amounts of information in a short period of time can be pretty overwhelming. But here's the good news. You can make it easier with the right strategies. First up, repetition. This is one of the most effective ways to lock information into your long-term memory. Reading the same content multiple times helps you retain more details and deepen your understanding. And it doesn't stop there. Try varying your approach. Read it once, then go over the key points again later in the day, and maybe even again the next day. Now, here's a powerful twist. Teach what you've learned. It may sound a little odd, but explaining concepts to someone else, even if they're not an expert, really forces you to organize the information clearly in your mind. It's one of the best ways to truly cement what you've learned. So, find a friend, family member, or even your pet and teach away. Another tip, record yourself summarizing the key points. This could be a quick audio or video recording. When you listen back, it reinforces those main ideas and keeps you focused. Plus, you can listen while you're on the go. Tip 2. Put what you've learned into practice. Moving on to tip number 2. Put what you've learned into practice. It's not enough to simply read or watch videos about a subject. You need to actively engage with the material. The best way to do this is by summarizing and practicing. Start by writing summaries of what you've learned in your own words. Not only does this help reinforce your memory, but it also gives you a better grasp of the material as a whole. If you can explain it in your own words, you're on the right track. Now, here's a little bonus. Handwriting. Writing things down by hand actually helps your brain process and retain information better than typing. So, grab a pen and paper and make those notes. Don't forget to test yourself with practice problems or exercises related to the topic. Whether it's solving math problems, answering quiz questions, or applying concepts in real-world situations, hands-on practice makes a huge difference in mastering the material. Tip 3. Invest in printed materials. Tip number 3. Invest in printed materials. In today's digital world, it's tempting to rely solely on apps, ebooks, and online resources. But here's the thing, working with printed materials can sometimes be much more effective. Textbooks, notebooks, and printed handouts give you the freedom to jot down notes, create diagrams, and sketch out ideas. When you work with paper, you're not as distracted by notifications or tabs. Your full attention is on the material. Plus, writing things out by hand, whether it's notes, summaries, or sketches, can help reinforce what you're learning. You'll also have a physical reference to come back to anytime you need it. Also, don't underestimate the power of highlighting and underlining. Physically marking important sections helps your brain focus on key points. Tip 4. Make connections with visuals and associations. Tip 4 is a game changer. Make connections with visuals and associations. Sometimes, complex concepts can be hard to remember, especially when they don't seem to have a clear connection. That's where visualization comes in. Try associating concepts with images, symbols, or keywords. For example, if you're studying biology, you might visualize a diagram of a cell or link key terms to memorable images. This turns abstract ideas into something concrete and easier to remember. Use techniques like acronyms or acrostics to simplify information. For example, if you're learning about the Great Lakes, you can remember them by using the acronym HOMES: Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, Superior. Another powerful method is the memory palace. This technique involves picturing a familiar location, like your home, and associating different concepts with specific objects in that space. Imagine walking through your house, and each room holds a different topic you're trying to remember. It's like creating a mental journey that makes recalling facts much easier. Tip 5. Prioritize breaks and rest. And finally, tip number 5. Prioritize breaks and rest. We all know how tempting it can be to study for hours on end, trying to cram in as much as possible. But here's the truth. Rest is just as important as studying. Taking breaks helps recharge your focus and prevents burnout. Whether it's a 5-minute walk, stretching, or just stepping away from your desk for a bit, breaks help keep your brain fresh and alert. And of course, Don't skip on sleep. Your brain needs quality rest to process and store the information you've learned. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night, especially when you're studying intensely. You'll wake up with a sharper mind and better retention. There you have it, 5 tips to learn faster and more effectively. With these techniques, you'll not only study smarter but also get more out of every session. Whether you're preparing for exams, mastering a new skill, or just trying to absorb new knowledge, these tips will give you an edge. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on more helpful tips. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, happy studying!